Hi, this is Dominic Keating. I played Lieutenant Malcolm Reed on Enterprise, as you probably know, and you are listening to the NX 7062 podcast. Enjoy.
Well, hello, and welcome. It is time for the NX 7062 podcast. I am so glad to be here tonight. Wasn't feeling well today, so I'm just really glad that I was feeling ready and up to joining you all this evening. Now, if you guys are trying to chat at me, I can tell that there's 5 people watching, but I can't see if there's a chat going on. Hey, Nancy. There's everybody. Hi, Robert. All right. Hi, Dave. It was so weird because I kind of jumped away to go do something, and when I jumped back, the whole screen was messed up. I'm like, crap, 2 seconds to the show. Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys saw it, and it's still up there momentarily. I'm debating whether I want to take it down, but somebody commented, and I just saw it. It happened a few days ago, but I just saw it. Somebody commented on my Women of Star Trek video and said that I prattle on. Hi, Slack Twaddle. That I prattle on for 10 minutes before I got to the topic, and it wasn't for them. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, well, that was sort of rude, but then it is the internet and everybody's allowed to be rude. So I gave him a thumbs down because I can. And I said, you know what? I do. I do prelim stuff for about 10 minutes before my show. And my viewers, my fans like it. And if you don't, that's fine. You don't have to announce yourself. You can just leave. But anyway, the one thing I did not mention. Thanks, Nancy. I appreciate that. That's very do not encourage me because I could go on forever. Just ask anybody that I've ever been on the phone with. But you know what? You guys like it. Hey, Dave. And the other thing is that I actually modeled that kind of after John Oliver because his shows are all one topic shows. And he always does little preliminary chit chat. I mean, yeah, his is like kind of like a monologue, funny thing. I do, little Star Trek updates and things that are going on in the sci-fi world and chit chat before we get into the main subject. Hey, Jean, I say hi to everybody. If that's not your cup of Earl Grey, then go drink it somewhere else. That's all I'm saying. But I do need to start off this evening with a little bit of a sad note. I don't know if you guys have heard Barbara Rush, the actress, she passed away. Well, I found out about it yesterday. I'm going to assume that she passed away yesterday. My friend Chris Hunter, it was his mom. She was his mom. Jeff Hunter is his dad, and his mom was Barbara. And I met her a little over a year ago. One of the last times I was out in LA. I love the fact that I can say I've been to LA so many times. I lose track. But one of my last times out to LA, I got to meet her. I needed her autograph for my Batman Bat book because she was Nora Clavicle in the 3rd season of Batman, which I found out about the first time I had Chris on the show. So my deepest sympathies and condolences go out to Chris and his family and friends who are mourning Barbara. And she was so stinking talented. She go to her IMDb page. It's amazing. All the cool stuff she did. She's done Twilight Zones, Outer Limits. She played Elizabeth Knight in Knight Rider. And she was also in Burke's Law, which honestly last year would have meant nothing to me, but Gary Conway from Land of the Giants, who is technically somebody I do bookings for, he was in Burke's Law too. So and she was also in The Bionic Woman. So anyway, Barbara's got this fantastic IMDb resume. You've probably seen her in something that you've watched between the late 60s and late 90s. So anyway, again, my condolences. On a happier note, I don't know how many of you guys have heard about this, but there is a sci-fi museum. Actually, they're calling it the Sci-Fi World, The Experience. And it is opening in May 27th to be exact, in Santa Monica. That's right. She was in It Came from Outer Space. Very good. Points for Nancy. You are correct, ma'am. Sci-Fi World, The Experience. It's opening in Santa Monica on the 27th. Again, excuses to go to LA. It's opening May 27th. I am going to figure out when and where and how I can get out there because I definitely want to see it. They said that they're calling it The Experience, literally after another experience that sci-fi fans loved that is no longer in existence. If you guys want to take a guess of what experience they are talking about, but they are technically, they said they're technically a museum, but since museums are boring and they are anything but boring. And if you go to the website and check them out, Summer Glau did their intro video. I'm starting to drink the water now so I don't end up coughing and choking halfway through when we're doing Star Trek quotes. And I know Nancy gave me a really good one. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I needed a little soups in my life today, Lasso. Thanks for joining us. We were just I don't know if you were chilling out in the background and you heard us chit-chatting about Nora Clavicle. But Nancy gave me a really good quote. And what do? I completely forgot what it was. Nancy, what was the quote that you put on my Facebook, on the Facebook page for the show? I meant to. It's been a day, guys. It has been an absolute day, and I apologize. My brain is just a little loopy. Oh, that's right. And today's April Fool's Day. That I am not kidding about. My brain is ridiculously loopy. I'm just had a really weird day. Let me see. Hold on, Nancy. I am going to find it. Oh, I am not a merry man. That was Nancy's. Yep, I am not a merry man. That was Nancy's. That's a good one. That's a good one. I tend to lean towards the movies, the original movies, and the original show. I mean, Parted From Me and Never Parted, Never and Always Touching and Touched is my favorite. You just don't get to use that in daily life the same way you could use, say, well, Double Dumbass on You. You could use that in your daily life. So that's what I love about some of these. I mean, live long and prosper. People say that it has worked its way into the lexicon. People say live long and prosper. The entire theme, space, the final frontier, where no man has gone before. These are things you hear people say, even if they're not fans. People just say it. Oh, that's another good one. Can I cook or can't I? That is another really good one. Maybe just shut up. I mean, look at I'm a doctor, not a. I've seen that in MASH a lot. Charles says it every so often. I'm not a doctor, I'm a. Or just I'm a blank, not a blank. I mean, that's all. I mean, that pops up in a lot of different places, and I would I would be hard pressed to think that it didn't start with TOS. Of course, Con, yell it really loud. Con also. That's cute. Lasso's making him up as he goes along. I love that, Lasso. That's fantastic. It's a good day to die. Of course, Robert, that it has to be your favorite, right? Which on March 14th is turned into It's a Good Day for Pie. But yes, that is a really, really good one. One of my favorites that I mumbled to myself every now and then, depending on the situation, the word is no. Therefore, I am therefore going anyway. The word is no. I am therefore going anyway. That's a really good one. That's one of my favorites. Don't call me tiny. See, those are just things. Well, that one could probably possibly work in real life. And I know for me it would work because I am tiny. So I could definitely do the whole don't call me tiny. I was going to try and do these in some sort of order, but forget that. I have been and always shall be your friend. My friend, my bestie Wendy has given that to me on a keychain. And then 1 year we always do a gift exchange in Las Vegas because that's the only time that we see each other. So we save up all our birthday gifts or whatever. And when we see each other, we each got each other the necklace that says I have been and always shall be your friend, the one that you break in half and give. So we each technically have a whole necklace. We just gave the half We just gave half to each other. But then she also gave it to me on a keychain. Let's see, Dave, plenty of quotables from Voyage Home. Absolutely. That me and my Star Trek group use when we get in public and in the movies. Remember where Terra Incogna, remove rank insignias. Everybody remember where we parked. Oh, that's a classic. How can you be deaf with ears like that? That's a great one, John. Doctor gave me a pill and I grew a new kidney. Doctor gave me a pill. Oh my God. See, that is so not true. You are my best. You're my bestie lasso. You're the best lasso that I have. It must be the radiation. That's good. What? Let's see. I think, oh, of course, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. And then when he flipped it at the end of Search for Spock, the needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many. The ship out of danger. Yes, you saved the ship. I was just looking at IMDb. They have entire things. You promised to kill me. I lied. But this is what I love is that more people quote Herman Melville of Khan quoting Herman Melville than actually realizing they're quoting Herman Melville, because I mean he tasks me and I shall have him. I'll chase him around the moons of Nibia and around the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up. That was partially a Melville quote, but obviously they all talk about it being Khan. He said for medicinal purposes. But what I wanted to bring that one up specifically because if you guys are watching the new Quantum Leap, I am watching the new Quantum Leap. I actually saw an April Fool's prank today. Somebody said that the third season is kicking off with Scott Bakula in it. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Anyway, there was a point in the season where Ian was trying to figure out a really complicated equation, and he's talking to the computer, it tasks me, and he's going through this whole thing, and somebody walks in and they're like, oh, you quoting Melville? And I'm like, and he looks up and goes, no, I'm quoting Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. I mean, let's see, that was probably one of my favorites. To the last I will grapple with thee, from hell's heart I stab at thee, for hate's sake I spit my last breath at thee. I always screw that one up if I try to do it from memory. Oops. I promise it is totally just water. What did John say? Did I miss the John? Nope, how can you be definitely just like that? Okay. See, what else have I got? Oh yeah, this one. I say this one a lot. The end of it anyway. Kirk, my old friend, do you know the Klingon proverb which tells us revenge is a dish best served cold? It's very cold in space. I do like revenge is a dish best served cold. Oh, Lasso, if I could make that happen for you in some new Star Trek where like somebody just said fools are furry. You know what? If you want to jump ahead, I mean, sarcastic Vulcan salute. Sarcastic Vulcan salute has really caught on. Sarcastic Vulcan salute really caught on. Which I like if I could do it. I just can't do it very well. Let's see. I already said double dumbass. Oh my gosh. The end of Star Trek 2. Wrath of Khan just had so many good ones. Of all the souls I've encountered in my travels, his was the most human. We don't discuss it with outsiders. There you go. Now that is just, you can use that almost anywhere, can't you, Robert? Oh, sorry, we don't discuss it with outsiders. Is any Trek on Cameo where they could say Fu is a furry? I mean, there's Star Trek people on Cameo. I'd tell you, well, I mean, honestly, you got to find out who Fu likes if you were going to send it to him. But I know Connor's on Cameo. I know the one and only Erica LaRose is on Cameo. She would do it for you. Let's see. Nikki DeBoer's on Cameo. I mean, I'm calling off friends that I know on Cameo. I know that there's a ton of people on Cameo that are Trek. So yes, you could go on Trek and spend a little money and get somebody to say Fu is a furry. I mean, I would obviously refer you to my friends because I want them to get the money. So Connor, Nicole, Erica would do it. I know she's technically not Trek. She's Shuttle Pod. I mean, not from a Trek show, but she is there. Want to see how fast I can put you in a hospital. There we go. Oh, is she? I love Mary. Mary's 1 in a million. I absolutely love Mary Chieffo. I absolutely love Mary Chieffo. She's awesome. Oh, See You Around the Galaxy is also one of my favorites, which I may sign off with tonight. I got to see how it feels. I don't know. What do you guys think? See You Around the Galaxy? Is that a good one to sign off with? I don't know. I was printing out. I went to print out the second page of these, and the printer crapped out on me. I think it needs a new cartridge. We got Marshmallow. You know, Row, Row, Row Your Boat and Marshmallow came from 5. What does God want with a starship? Star Trek 6 had Shakespeare's best when you read it in the original Klingon. What does God need with a starship? There are just so many. I mean, that's, you know what, that's what I love. Even when there's even like the bad movies, Star Trek 5 was not the best movie. Had some terrific quotes. What does God need with a starship? It was a great quote. The Marshmallow thing is funny. Row, row, row your boat is funny. I need my pain is such a truism. You know, so even though the movie itself was bad, it did come with some really amazing quotes, I think. You know what? The same thing. I do this all the time. Rocky 5. Is it 5? Wait. Yeah, Rocky 5. See, 5s are bad. 5s are bad. Rocky 5 was not a good movie at all. But it had some really, really good quotes that I actually use a lot. There was this one. I don't know if you guys have seen Rocky 5. It's terrible. I don't recommend it necessarily. It had a good soundtrack too. It had some good songs. Measure of a Man, the Elton John song Measure of a Man that they used at the end was really good. Rocky's broke now because his accountant ran off with all his money while he was in Russia fighting Dolph Lundgren. And he comes back and he's broke and he has to move back to the old neighborhood. And there's this promoter, this scummy promoter that steals the one fighter that he was training. And at the very end of the movie, this scummy promoter pits the two of them against each other. Sorry, spoilers. And the promoter's an ass. And Rocky comes up to him and he's pissed. And the guy keeps going, touch me and I'll sue, touch me and I'll sue. Rocky punches him in the stomach so hard, he goes airborne and lands on the hood of a car. And Rocky just looks over at him and goes, sue me for what? And walks away. So I like Sue Me for What. That's a good one. The other good quote from that movie, and I know I'm digressing, the other good quote from that movie was that this fighter that Rocky had been training and then completely betrayed him knocked Paulie down. You know, remember Uncle Paulie, Adrian's brother Paulie? Loved him. He pushed Paulie down and Rocky got down to make sure he was okay. And then he turns and looks over his shoulder. He's like, you knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down? See? Terrible movie. 2 awesome quotes. Oh my God. And now I cannot remember the name. Every time I see him, I just go, oh, look, it's Paulie. I actually met him and I can't remember the actor's name. Son of a buck. If anybody knows who I'm talking about, could probably do 6 Degrees of Separation for him for Star Trek too. I'm just trying to think of just dropping in to say hi, having dinner with my parents, so I can't stay. Hey, Jober. Hi, Jober's parents. So glad you dropped in. It's always good to see you, Jober. Even if it's just to pop in before you go, leave us with a favorite Star Trek quote, since that's what the show is all about. Oh, how do we know he didn't? Oh, my God. Thank you, Robert. I know Burt Young. How do we know he didn't invent the thing? Yep. Oh, that's another one. Hello, computer. Computer. But you have to have a mouse to make it work. Burt Young, that's the guy. That is the guy that played Paulie. He's been in Law and Order. He's been in MASH. He's been all over the place. And yeah, I met him. He was pretty cool. His MASH episode was really funny. I mean, they're all funny, but his was really good. Yeah. Remember, hello, computer. That's a good one. I do that. I do that. Who out here that is a Star Trek fan has not at some point either picked up their mouse or just looked at their screen and like in their best or worst Scottish accent said, hello, computer. Seriously, that's really bad. My Scottish accent's terrible. Seriously though. Seriously. Who has not done that? So that's a big one. And of course, if you want to go Enterprise, Read Alert. Read Alert is one of my favorites. Keep Your Shirt On, Lieutenant is good. As I was looking for tonight, if I were... Oh, that's a really good one. That is a really good one, Jober. You may go now. That's a drop the mic moment. If I were human, I believe my response would be go to hell. If I were human. Oh, that's awesome. Well done, Jober. Well done. Drop the mic and go. But I was looking up, there are so many. I was looking for ones that are more mainstream, like ones that you might actually use or hear people use, or just ones that people just really know. Let's make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise. Oh, that's cool. I'm not even sure where that's from, Nancy. So you'll have to fill me in. Excuse me. So there's a multi-legged creature on your shoulder. But I was thinking, and I know Dave said that there are a lot of Voyager ones, but except there's coffee in that nebula. That's a good one. TOS. Okay, that's very good. Yeah, you had me going there because I was like, what the heck's YTOS? I'm thinking, is there a movie that I'm missing? But I can't really think, like, Enterprise I know because I watched it so much, but the new stuff, except for, like I said, Vulcan Salute is awesome. I'm just trying to think of, like, really, like, memorable lines from... I guess I just haven't watched them of, like, TNG. I'm Not a Merry Man. I'm Not a Merry Man is good. I'm sure... I love the fact that Q runs around going Mon Capitan all the time. I do love a good Mon Capitan. Oh, how about this? It's simple. Just change the gravitational constant of the universe. There's a good cue. Just change the gravitational constant in the universe. No bloody... Oh, yes. Enterprise 1701. No bloody... I was watching 911. It's from A Taste of Armageddon. Thank y'all. I appreciate that, Nancy, because I couldn't think of where that one was from. I was watching 911 the other night, and there was a helicopter that was flying out over the ocean looking for a lost cruise ship. If you guys were ever thinking about going on the Star Trek cruise, maybe not necessarily the best 911 to watch, but I did because I love 911. But the choppers call numbers were 1701. Go figure. I'm like, stuff like that is not an accident. I'm sorry. You do not randomly give a helicopter the call number 1701 unless you're trying to say something. So I thought that was pretty cool. And 911 is such a great show. Love Peter Krause. And Connor's in it. That's the one that Connor shows up every now and then as the he's the captain of the bomb squad. They haven't blown anything up in a while. So I'm hoping this season, now that they're on ABC and they've maybe got ABC money, they'll blow some more things up. That would be cool. They moved from Fox to ABC. So I wouldn't mind seeing them blow some more stuff up. It's about time. They need a new bomb scare. I Feel Young is good. Lasso, so that you don't feel left out, if you've got a favorite Wonder Woman quote, you could totally share it with the group. Um, I can I gotta change the laws of physics. That was step 3. That's great. Oh yes, Nancy, thank you for reminding me. Everybody needs to hit that like button for me. I need it. I am only a few people away from 200 viewers, which would be great. I like even numbers, so 200 would be fantastic. I have a feeling I don't get a press pass for Vegas if I um if I don't have the viewership. So I mean, okay, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do a table. Um, because press pass would be nice. A table would be better because then I can sit and give away pins. I have a ton of pins to give away, so I want to give away some pins. Maybe have some merch. I'm talking to somebody about having some merch on hand. So I'm still seriously considering the booth thing. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. Lasso. In a world of ordinary mortals, you are a Wonder Woman. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. The Wonder Woman stuff's been popping up in my Facebook feed a lot. So, so that's cool. The other thing that was popping on my Facebook, there were some really good April Fools. Um, Somebody did an April Fool's Star Trek Reconsidered. Discovery's getting a seventh, is going all the way to season 7. That one was funny. There was another one too. Oh, George Takei did his annual one, and some people fell for it because he basically said he was leaving social media and he was going over to some weird other place that's not like general social media. And people like, oh, I'm going over there now. And I'm thinking, you do realize George does this once a year. I fell for the one where he said he was running for office. But yeah, George Takei always does a really good April Fool's social post. Oh my god, that is a really good one, Slack Throttle. That is a really good one. I forgot about that one. That's really good. Underwear's flame retardant. That is really good. I like that one. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just my lack of watching and just being out and about in the world. It just seems that the ones that I pick up on the most are the movie ones. That yeah, just randomly you hear in public, like doesn't even need to be at a convention. Or like I said, you mutter to yourself like you're yelling at your computer, or the word is no. I am therefore going anyway. I say that I've said that a couple times. There are a couple others I think, live long, like I said, live long and prosper pops up a bunch. And don't let us not forget that the appropriate response to that is peace and long life. It is not to say live long and prosper back. But oh, you green-blooded anything is good too. You green-blooded son of a bitch. He said that green-blooded son of a bitch. That's when isn't that what he said in 3 when he found out that he had Spock's Katra? That green-blooded son of a bitch. It's for all the times I beat him at chat. All the arguments. It's all the arguments that he lost to me or something. It's amazing. I once, a million years ago when I was still living at home, my best friend in college, when was it he was bored. It was like 2, 3 in the morning. He used to do this all the time. He called me. And we were seriously considering to see if we could sit there and quote Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Would have been great if I hadn't been living with my parents and my mom's like, I can hear you, hang up the phone. But that would have been fun to see if we could have actually done the entire movie from start to finish. Has anybody ever tried that? Like, you can not just quote a couple lines from a movie, but you feel like you can quote an entire movie. I can do scenes. I've done scenes from Return of the Jedi. I think one of the first conversations Lasso and I, oh my God, Lasso, do you remember this? This just shows this just shows the difference between the geek slash nerd and the non-geek. Lasso, I don't know if you remember this. Lasso and I met because he worked in country music and I repped a country music artist. And one night, the country music artist that I repped called him. We were hanging out at karaoke. She called him. I don't even know. And so she's talking to him, and I'm just sitting there. And Lasso said something to her, and she said something to me. And I looked at her and I just went, just call him a scruffy looking nerf herder. And she went, what? Because she is like the least interested in science fiction ever. Like, she couldn't give two hoots about it and looked at me like I had three heads. And I said, just tell him. And so she got back on the phone and she said, Stephanie says you're a scruffy looking nerf herder. And I think, Ryan, that's when Lasso's friendship and I were sealed. For me, Lasso, that's a big movie for me. Mommy Dearest. Dave likes Mommy Dearest. That's very cool. Spock, you botched the acetylene test. Okay. Oh my God. You know what that reminds what that reminds me of? When they in David Tennant's last episode, the actual last episode where he regenerated into Matt Smith, and those green aliens were rescuing him and they had him on that hand truck and they were like rolling him and they were like running him downstairs and he's like, worst rescue ever. I thought you would, because nobody forgets when somebody calls them a scruffy looking nerf herder. But that's okay. See, these are ones that I don't even know, but they're ones that from whatever episode it is, they have written themselves on your heart. Like I said, my favorite will always be Parted From Me and Never Parted, Never and Always Touching and Touched. I love that one. That will always be my favorite. But again, don't really use it in everyday conversation, because who the hell are you going to say it to? But some of these, like I said, some of these are fun because you can use them in everyday conversation. There's one from Superman that I use every now and then. When people are talking about trust, it's like, trust you. I don't trust you, because it was a scene in the ambulance with Lex and Otis. I don't trust you, Otis. Just tell me. What time is it? Oh, hey, we've been doing this we've only gone for a half an hour. Come on, you guys. The municipal Lasso, you know better. Every time somebody says the municipal building. Oh my God! Every time somebody there's only two other people on the planet that would actually understand what you just said, and I missed them both, and that was very funny. That was very funny. All about the municipal building. One of these days, Lasso, you and I just have to go back to Nashville for absolutely no reason, just to go back. I miss Nashville. Nashville is fantastic. If you ever want to do something, if you ever just want to go someplace and you enjoy country music, go to Nashville. It's fun. You can walk down the street in Nashville and every bar's got just amazingly talented people playing in it. I've made some amazing friends working in country music, and I do still have an appreciation for country music. I don't listen to it the way I used to, because I don't have to listen to it for work anymore. I used to have to actually listen to it for work. But yeah, there aren't and I actually last time I think I told you this, there is actually somebody out there. He's a country music artist, lives in Maryland, plays all over Maryland. If anybody's down in Maryland, check out Mark Bray and the Steel Toe Cowboys. Mark is a huge Trekkie. He is an absolute huge Trekkie. I didn't know that for the longest time. And then he posted something about Star Trek on his Facebook page. I went, wait, I've known you as a country music artist for how long? Never knew that you were a Trekkie also. They come from, we are everywhere. We come from all walks of life. And yes, I know you know Mark Bray Lasso. He's awesome. He's awesome. I actually did drive down to go see him once. Maryland's a little bit of a hike for me. I really have to kind of, juice myself up for it. But if he plays close to the Delaware border, it's worth the trip for me. But yeah, look up Mark Bray. He's a sweetheart and a Trekkie and an incredibly talented country music artist. And I know you know Bray, and now you know he's a Trekkie, because he likes Voyager though. All right, come on, guys. We got any more really, really good Star Trek quotes? I mean, revenge is a dish best served cold is one I remind myself of all the time. Oh, you're so funny, Lasso. That's right. I didn't know the dog's name was Henry. I don't remember his kids' names. I'm terrible. Let's see. Yeah, I still like from Hell's Heart, I stab at thee, for hate's sake, I spit my last breath at thee. Whenever I try to do that, not from memory, I always fuck it up. But Khan has some great quotes. I feel like it's a good place to end if you guys don't want to throw any more quotes at me. A lie is a very poor way to say hello. I just saw that when I was looking at quotes. I saw that one. That is a really good one. A lie is a very poor way to say hello. It's true. That's very true too. I'm just trying to think if there's any other really, really good Star Trek quotes that are out there. I mean, there are. Like, I could do it. Like, I literally could just do a scroll, like at the end. Like, honestly, after this goes up on YouTube, I could literally just create a scroll for the end and just have all the. Yeah, we're not talking about that one. Shut up, Wesley. Yeah, shut up, Wesley. Just knowing how Will Wheaton feels about that one. Has Star Trek ever had a con? No. What Star Trek fans do is they call every Star Trek con a KAHN or K. Yeah. You want to talk about STLV as a con, then you talk about it as a K. Yeah. You talk about it as a KHAN. You don't ever spell it CON. So that's how we have a con. We don't even bother to have a con. We just have a KHN. Fate protects fools, little children, and ships named Enterprise. Oh, that is a good one. That is a good one. Fate protects fools, little children, and ships named Enterprise. That is awesome. Oh, thank you, Uncle Hairball, for reminding me of that one. Second star to the right and straight on till morning. Is a good Star Trek quote, and I have loved it since it was a Peter Pan quote. Peter Pan was one of my favorite Disney movies. So, Tinkerbell and the pirates and how completely inappropriate some of the music was from that movie. I actually have that soundtrack. Remember when Disney used to put out like vinyl with the storybooks? Like you could buy the full LP of the music from the movie, and then the LP it wasn't just a sleeve, it was actually like a storybook for the movie. I have that. I have that for Peter Pan. Yes, it does give the good feels. Second star to the right and straight on till morning. I got a little misty when I heard Kirk say that for the first time. I was like, eh. But all right, guys. It has been so much fun, as always, sharing my Monday nights with you. Happy April Fool's Day. If you were celebrating Easter this past weekend, I hope you had a fantastic Easter. Go out and get yourself some of that half price candy. I know at least one person out there did. I actually did look at half price candy today in the supermarket, and I went, I'm gonna be good. And it wasn't even like Peeps. Oof. It wasn't even like the good stuff, obviously. It was all weird, like marshmallow topped Reese's peanut butter cups. I was like, nah. So, but I hope everybody had a great Easter. I hope you all survived April Fools and didn't get tricked by too many social media posts. There were a couple out there that I saw this morning that were pretty funny. Pretty proud of myself because I don't think I fell for any of them. So pretty proud of myself there. But listen, guys, next week, we'll see. I will be here in this chair waiting to talk to you, whatever it is, whatever the topic is, whatever I come up with. If you think of more quotes that you want to share, if you think of more quotes that you want to share, well, you can leave them in a comment on YouTube. You can share them on my social media. You can share them everywhere. The more stuff we do on YouTube, the more YouTube likes it, the more the algorithms like it. So please, 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 please share quotes wherever you want to share. Share my show. Like I said, I'm only a couple subscribers away from 200, so I would love to hit the 200 mark in the next week or two. That would be fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for hanging out with me. You know I love being with you on a Monday night, and let's try this one out. Thank you much for being with me, and until I see you next week, hopefully I'll see you around the galaxy.
You've been listening to the NX7062 podcast.